So there's another example here. Okay, so again, excavating rock in a quarry and deliver. So you've got your different layers, and then from your different layers you do different work description, especially in terms of the production rate, the amount of work that needs to be done. You see, the amount of work that needs to be done is always here. You allowed wastage and all that, so it's all here. It is very important. Without the quantity, it's very difficult to do any estimation, really, you know. So here drilling, you know, you're assuming what, you know, how many boreholes that you're going to do, you know, how many hours you're going to do total, you're going to do how many hours, you know, and how many lifting, how many sets you're going to do, and etc. And then from there you can actually come up with your labor, machineries, labor, depending on what you're talking about. So you can have your labor, this is about the labor, this is about the machineries, you know, the material, this is about the machineries, you know. So you leave it, you need to, different type of work will require you to think in the direction of labor, material, machineries, subcontractors. These are the four main costing that you are looking at in terms of major category of work that you're looking at, you see. So plant, you can have it, you know, in more detail if you want to, okay, but if you lump it into like one category is also fine, but I prefer to have it in different categories, so that we know what we're expecting in the sense and what we need to prepare. If we lump everything into here, it can be excavator, it can be lorry, it can be loaders, it can be mobile crane, you know, it can be anything, and then it doesn't look very clear in that sense, you know. So I prefer to have it in different category if you can. So you see, with all this sort of work, you see, and all these totals that you have, you are going to go to the next level of producing a final bill, you know, a final estimation. So you have got this, you know, excavation, you know, the piers somewhere, concrete piers is here, you know, the quantity, you know, and then you put it down, you know, and then you label it then with your markup, you know, with your final bidding price and all that. So you need to actually, at the end of the day, you will have a final sheet, okay, and that different sheets all add up together to be part of this final sheet, okay, and this final estimation sheet. And final estimation sheet, it can be sometimes we will have it in the tender documents as a specific schedule, you know, at the end of it there's a summary sheet, so you can fill up that particular summary sheet, but you cannot just simply fill up any numbers there. It has to come from the different bills that you are looking at, you see. So here you're looking at one bill, you know, and here you're looking at another bill, you see. So different work, you will have a different bill or different sets of bills, you know, or what we call a quantity costing sheets that you have. So bills or quantity costing sheets, okay. These are a system that you as an estimator need to create, okay, no doubt about that, you see. So if you do not have a system to create this, then it's going to be very difficult for you to do a proper estimation. Otherwise, it'll be just rough paper all over the place, or an Excel worksheet that nothing can make sense one, you know. So I always encourage description here somewhere, and then with this description matching to the other side, you see. Some people, they like to have one type of work, like in one sheet they will have the work, and then they will have the table for labor, table for materials, table for machineries, table for subcontracting. That is also fine, okay, that is also fine. It's just the way of presenting it, and it's a way of making you understand the kind of work that is needed and the resources that is needed, amount of work versus the resources that are needed, and equate these two monetary terms in terms of dollars and cents, okay. So the resources will be dependent on the production, it will be dependent on the time, it will be dependent on the quantity of work, you see. Production rate without quantity of work, which I mentioned in the assignment session the other day, that it is not possible, okay. It's not possible to calculate anything without the quantity if you want to look at it in terms of production rate, okay. So from there, that resources that you have after all your time management, you've already done your optimum amount of resources that is available or that is needed on that particular site, and then you versus it against the all the information and data that you have over the resources, then you can do your calculation on costing. So like I said, this is one technique, or you can have a work, a page on that particular work and your different tables on labor, machineries and all that. That is also fine. There will be people who work in Excel sheet, they will put in the work breakdown, and then for one sheet it's going to be all about labor, like what I've taught you previously, and from one sheet it's going to be all about resource plant and machineries, and on one sheet in Excel it's going to be all about labor. So I like that as well. So in a way we've got about 3 different ways of presenting it already right away, in that sense. You can do this particular one in one Excel big sheet as well, and then or you can do it like this, or in a table format, or you can do it in the Excel worksheet with different sheets on the bottom, like Excel you can have different sheets at the bottom, if you can click on it and you can change names and all that. So I think that example was also been given to you previously in the other classes, like you had to look at the notes, okay, that we have. So I'll post up this particular set of notes, you see. So once you've got these small bills finished, then you will be converting it into big bills, and that big bills will be the final contract sum that you're proposing, or tender price that you're proposing to your client. And after some form of negotiation, you will come back and you will finally get your you'll be finally having that particular budget for the job. So you have to give that final estimates, final detailed estimates, and then after some form of negotiation, after some form of tender competition, and sometimes it may be a reduction in scope of work, sometimes maybe increasing a certain scope of work, and then so after a few negotiations you usually arrive at the final estimates that is agreeable on by both party, and then that will be your budget, because the client approved that budget. So as long as the job is being awarded to the contractor, that budget that is being put down there is already confirmed, okay? It's confirmed, and that is your budget, and the work has to be done within that particular budget, okay? So this one is talking about costing, that we really will be presenting it to the client, with all the markup prices, with all the profit and all that, but on the same sheet here, you can actually look at the cost of work as well. Total work cost, you see, before the markup, you see. So after the markup, is different, because you have to earn some profit from it. So before the markup is something that you have to learn to control your costs, you see. So if this bit here before the markup, you need to learn to do a good control, over the cost of the work. Otherwise, as a contractor, you'll be eating into your profit, and then you'll not be making any money at the end of the day, and you'll be like feeling really bad, because you're not making any money, So, or worst come to worst, you have to even lose money at the end of the day. So we have to make sure that this part here, this part onwards, total cost of work, all this here up to this particular column number 14, well, it's something that the contractor will know. You don't have to show the client. What you show the client is the column 18, whatever you have in your 18, and the client will make that as a budget, and you have to work within that budget. In the client's perspective, you are working within that particular budget, okay? So for 38 million, this is the budget of the job that is given to you, so you need to keep within that budget. So if you say that your job end up to be 38,500,000, then you're over the budget already, okay? That means the client has to pay you extra, and they don't like it at all, okay? So like I said, column 14 is about your own cost control, up to column 18 is your budget, is the client's budget control. So as a contractor, your job, you have to make your costs lower, even lower, and you have to work within the budget that is being given to you. So the consultant is the same. You have to make sure that you look after the job so that the job doesn't run over the particular budget, okay? So, okay, let's just close up here first, okay?